So you went, and if you're a married woman, you went with a husband somewhere that I went. But I always wanted to be here. I never wanted to be anywhere else. I think I missed maybe 2 years here.
What has kept you coming here?
My friends, yeah, my friends. And there was a lot of upheaval right then. There were some changes in the you'd get a priest that would appeal to somebody and wouldn't appeal to somebody else. And it was during I think the hardest period for us was when we had a priest who insisted that we sing the national anthem as soon as we got into church.
What? That's interesting. I've never been to church where I was required to sing the national anthem.
Yeah, and before, I mean, it seemed to me as yes and no. It was like he was very militaristic, he was very fond of the military, and we were not.
I'm surprised he's saying that. I've never heard that before.
What period would that have been?
I bet it
Maybe
was
that was around
in the late, I bet it was in,
Vietnam War time.
I was thinking the late 60s, early
Probably had to
70s,
be.
maybe.
70s.
Height of Vietnam War protests.
Yeah. And
He was the same guy that talked a lot about the sins of young people, too. I remember
and
that.
he was against
And that thinking something was as bad as doing it.
Wow.
So I was always in trouble.
Wow.
It was also, you know the history of this place, and I'm not going to use names, but we also had a lot of problems over gays,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and this was a priest that did not approve
didn't approve.
Yeah.
and made it very difficult.
Was that early 80s, mid 80s?
Early. You know, and it's funny, as far as dates are concerned, I
It's
just
so hard to
I
remember
don't want to
for
say
her. I
names.
think I think it was earlier than that.
Yeah, it was
I
early.
mean,
still
it may
going on,
have
so
gone on a long time, but that, I wasn't still here at that time.
We had a very hard time with.
But I remember, hearing comments, and our parents were always so accepting of everybody. And there was never, it just wasn't even a
It didn't even
concern, a
come up.
thought, it just wasn't even, it was nothing. It was nothing out of the ordinary for us. And then when we would hear it in church, it was like, huh? That doesn't sound right to us. And so there were times when I can distinctly remember that guy, he's prejudice, I don't like him, or just comments were made, and it was just an uncomfortable period of time. But there was so much changing then, and I'm sure you're very well aware of what's happened over the years, so.
I was at Trinity and my dresses were too short.
Right.
So people would complain. And they weren't that short.
Right. I know, it's just silly
I
stuff.
think that we were kind of at a loss we didn't know what to say, so we criticized people instead of appreciating.
We were just talking on the way down about, the whole big thing coming back, the Black Lives Matter and all of this stuff. And we were talking about, what do you think triggers this? And I really feel that there's just this cycle of things that happen over time. And, I hope at some point there isn't this up and down thing, but I do think what happens is that there are situations that arise that are really, unfortunate and really uncharacteristic, but they are brought to everyone's attention, and then it just starts feeding on itself. And then the bigotry and the, hatred just keeps getting in, and that's why, we all have to get out there and
Fight it.
say, I don't
Yeah,
like that.
Seems like a lot of it in the last 50, 60 years has been sort of instigated around changes in technology. Like really, the first televised presidential debate was
Yep.
1960, and you could see the war on
Right.
TV. You couldn't see the war like that in World
Yeah.
War II. or
Yeah.
TV.
No.
And now we have, dash cams and police cars.
I know.
And, so what's been going on forever.
Right.
Now
We didn't know.
more people know about it.
Right.
And recording what politicians say in private conversations.
Right, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, that word that Trump said, it was all over TV, and I was
Yeah.
wondering, when did the TV channels lower their standards to certain words? Because the kids are watching.
Oh.
And
No, there was.
I was, wow.
Well, our kids are just exposed to everything now, so it's.
So then, this, what about your upbringing as a young person in Canada made you end up being such a church person?
Oh.
Like, was that part of things?
Never, ever considered not going to church. And I was brought up by a mother who didn't even know that alcohol. It was a sin. She was a member of the WCTU, Women's Christian Temperance Union, and I belonged to the junior club. And I remember there was a hymn that was called, "And Dare to Be a,"
We don't know.
Let's see.
You're singing to the wrong
I
choir.
was a kid because I was 8 years old and I was
And you played it.
determined to play that so that I wouldn't embarrass my mother. Dare to be a Daniel.
Dare to be what?
Dare to be a Daniel.
Oh, Daniel.
Dare to stand alone. There it is. And we had a little pump organ. And I was like 8 years old and I was going to play that thing. Best day of my life. Hug your mama for us,
I will.
Ah,
Yeah.
please.
That'll make her feel better.
But anyway, and
so
Dad,
you were just like your saint and you're a good girl.
yeah, of course.
You were young.
But my father was from the Mennonite family. And some Quakers mixed in there. So we had a lot of people who went to church in a different
Yeah.
way. But you went to church.
What church did you go to?
So we ended up in Canada, the United Church of Canada, which foolishly tried to put all of the Protestant divisions together as one, and it didn't work. It works there for them, but the Presbyterians or continuing Presbyterians or continuing everybody else.
Interesting.
It didn't really work. It worked. I like the United Church of Canada. It was very good.
So was the Church of England part of that?
No, no. Church of England was what my husband was. He was saying,
Oh, so that,
In
is that how
Canada.
you became an
In
But you were not in
Episcopalian?
that when you were a child.
no. And I changed on 3 days before we were married. I became an Anglican. I had never seen a bishop before, anybody in the robes. United
Yeah.
Church of Canada is very plain. And I completely forgot all the answers, the responses.
For confirmation or
For
something?
confirmation. It was confirmed on a Thursday night, and I was late. The man was, ooh, I love that.
Sorry.
The bishop was the bishop of the Kootenays. You know where the Kootenays are? That's up
No.
in Canada, where, and the bishop of the Kootenays had 6 or 7 confirmations in one night before he dropped dead. from exhaustion.
Whoa.
And he had to go, every little town. So I was late, of course. And our Reverend Catchpole was his name. He was English. He was our priest. And he knew I was terrified because I had never seen anyone in all of that stuff he was wearing. I thought, gosh, I couldn't get, grand. Never seen anything like it. And good old plain church of United Church. So Father Catchpole leaned over and handed me his prayer book with the answers underlined. Afterwards, he told me, "You're not the first one."
I didn't underline these for you, I just took them.
This is just the same book I use for every.
If I had in there, I carried that little prayer book of my mother's for my wedding, and I thought, I'll carry that. So when I went for my confirmation, the pages aren't the same. The book is printed in Dark Ages in England, and my.
And it looks pretty
What did
small.
I know? I thought it was all the same stuff, and I had memorized it. I thought, but that was the most terrifying, one of my most terrifying moments. But that was a Thursday, Monday, Thursday, and then Good Friday, we went to church. That was the first time I took communion. Before I was married on Easter Monday, because Monday in Canada, Easter Monday is a holiday. And so I was married on Easter Monday.
So the Mennonites are pretty plain too. So did your mom and dad have any plainer than thou arguments? about
Oh,
religion?
lots of them. And we went to, see, mother thought she was always right. Correct. She was the boss. My dad was a sweet, adorable, yes, dear man. And we
Just like our
didn't
dad.
know.
Yeah.
Sort of like you, dear.
No, I was thinking of you and your
And we had been to visit her family, what we call down east, one summer. And my sister Helen said, I hate doing this because they don't even have electricity when we went to see some of these people who are related to my mother. So then my father said nothing. My father never boasted. He didn't have to boast. He just had that little smile, and we knew he was boasting. You know, and we were in the car, and as we got over the hill to see the house where we were going to stay with his relatives, here was this house surrounded with electric light over a
Putting green?
They played what?
Oh, like, okay.
Croquet.
Oh, croquet.
Right, okay. Electric milkers in a huge barn with the cows all hooked up to electricity. And my dad never said a word. And my sister said, electric light. It was funny because we'd been playing with lanterns the night before at mother's relatives. Mother was very silent. She didn't say very much. That was the first time she was quiet probably in her life. My sister and I were to stand at the door to help people who were coming to visit, because my father's relatives invited 30 people for lunch. And because they were farm people, 30 people isn't anybody. You know, shucks, you could feed 130. They were really wonderful cooks. That was a wonderful place. And I was skinny like I am now, and could eat like a horse. Always hungry. And I thought it was heaven. It was wonderful. But anyway, we were at the door, my sister and I at the door, and this lady came, and she's wearing a black outfit with a black bonnet, lace bonnet, a black bonnet over it, long black robe, and two of them. And I said hello, and they were the Niswanders. That was my name. My father's name was Niswander. It wasn't Fred Niswander. My name is Bets Niswander. Anyway, I think it's pronounced Niswanger because it's German Swiss. So anyway, these two women came to the door, and I said to Mary Louise, "Who are they?" And she said, "Those are two of the skeletons in Daddy's closet." I've never forgotten that. That's the sister that's right there.
That's where the saying came from.
And so I took her cloak, and she was so grand. Now those people all went to university. Those women went to university, but they dressed funny.
Yeah.
You know. And so it was kind of fun knowing where you came from. It was colorful, and it was pretty scary sometimes, but it was. And nearly everyone was musical. My father had the most magnificent voice, and could take a bass line and sing the bass line. It was just groovy. I loved to listen to him sing. And we entertained. Oh yeah, I forgot that whole part. Want to hear any more? We, as a family, entertained so we could make a little extra money. And so Mother got this all together, and my four sisters, I was the youngest, all dressed in blazers and white skirts. And Helen and Nina played the piano, and Mary too. They didn't let me play the piano much because I was just little. But we sang spirituals, we sang hymns mostly, but I also learned to dance with the Irish washerwomen and stuff like that. And And we entertained, and we were $20 for the afternoon.
Wow.
It's like the
Contrast.
yeah, exactly.
And it was fun. And then one day I introduced him, and I said, Mother said, you be the one that tells them what's going to be on the program. And I said, me? She said, yeah, tell them what we're singing. So I went out and I said, the next thing on the program is Swing Low, Sweet Cherry Ah-Ah. That's the way it sounds, you know. And so my mother was it brought the house down. Everybody laughed. And I thought, what are you laughing at? So I went so she said, we're leaving it in. She's going to do all the announcing.
Maybe you get an extra tip for that.
So I had a kind of a fancy, fun background.
When did you start playing the violin?
When I was 6. Didn't take it to it that well, but I'm still doing it.
Didn't you give music
I don't get a
lessons,
chance to
Beth?
play very often.
Didn't you give music lessons and stuff too?
Oh, my 2 sisters, well, all 3 sisters were piano teachers. We always had a big house with 2 pianos, 2 rooms to teach pianos. And then Mary Louise taught dancing in the basement, so we had it was like a music hall.
And you taught violin?
No.
Piano.
Yeah.
And that
I
was
taught
later.
piano.
She
That was
taught
later,
piano
right?
a lot when we were little and
Yeah.
she wasn't working.
Yeah.
At home, the students would come to the house.
Now, I have a friend that when I came here, she rescued me and she said, you need work. And I said, why? She said, because you need money. So she advertised in the whole Echo Park. We lived in Echo Park, for 21 years. And I had piano pupils. And her 3 kids were forced to come, and not one of them was musical. Their mother was trying to keep us from starving. That was when Michael didn't get a job. It took a while. He took some menial jobs that didn't make money. And so we were not rich. But some of those kids, I remember one little boy came over to the house and it had been raining. And I said, aren't you wearing your boots on the wrong feet? And he said, yeah, but I thought if it snowed, they'd wonder how I got here with my legs crossed. Think about it. He had the boots on the wrong feet. So his feet would be facing the wrong direction, sort of. And that shows you what kind of kid. This was a smart kid. I think he's a scientist now.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody would follow him and think he'd go. He was not very good at the piano. It didn't matter. He paid his quarter for, I think it was a quarter.
It was 25 cents a
25
lesson.
cents a lesson. That's a lot of
Really
kids
get
to
rich on that.
Where
4
was your
kids.
home in Echo Park?
Oh, right up Echo Park Avenue.
On
all the
Vestal,
way-
2325 Vestal Street.
So you go all the way up Echo Park Avenue until it ends, and then you can only go left to go up Altivo Way, or you can go what we called, it was like kind of like the goat trail. It was a very
Donaldson?
skinny road, very
Donaldson? Landa?
Oh, it was
Landa, we lived on Landa first.
I don't know. It might have started as Landa. I can't remember. But anyway, and then you just go up Altivo Way and then Vestal.
When you go to the very top, you can see.
Never been to the end of it.
Altivo Way is like way up
should
at the
go.
end.
You should drive all the way, and it used to go through, if you went right on Echo Park Avenue, it used to go all the way down and down to Riverside Drive.
It still does.
Do they?
Yes,
It still does?
it still does.
Because they, for a while.
Our little trail's now
blocked
been
it up.
discovered.
Yeah.
But
Like you can drive it or walk?
the funny thing is that on Google gives
Yeah.
the trucks
Yeah.
the back way.
Oh, yeah.
They get stuck. You know
Oh,
how?
that's a horrible way to go.
no.
Are you kidding? No,
I
we
know.
think it's the funniest thing because these people, they're not looking at anything. They get stuck.
Oh, yeah,
I can
I
show
can
you
imagine.
pictures of these limos, trucks.
Oh, wow.
I think it was last year, 2 years ago, the Dodgers had a Hello Kitty giveaway. Their truck got stuck on Baxter.
The Helly.
So they had to give a voucher
Yeah.
for those people that didn't get their Hello Kitty.
The house we lived in was
Oh my gosh.
awesome. Built in
Yeah.
1919, I think.
Huh.
Big, wonderful house. And we had over an acre or acre and a
We had
half
an acre.
on top of the hill.
Did you
So we
know-
had an entire view of Glendale.
Both sides.
and
Hollywood
amazing.
sign, the Griffith Observatory.
You know
That, that house just sold for
downtown.
1.2
bought the
million
house.
Oh no,
dollars.
it sold for
About,
more than that,
I think it was 1.2 million, but it was about
They didn't
5
get
years
that
ago.
when you sold it.
When we
No,
were
we
there,
didn't-
the
we
lady
didn't
wouldn't
buy
sell
it.
it. She wouldn't.
But it was a fabulous
It was
place to
rental.
live.
We
Beth?
rented it for 21 years.
Bets, did you know a Pat or Patrick Barone
Sure
that
did.
lived on Vistal? You did, you know Pat? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He was one of my bestest friends.
Your bestest friends.
Yes, we worked together for
There's a
quite a
shortcut-
long time. and
A
we
shortcut
lost
through the yard
contact.
that gets you to Legion Heights School.
Uh-huh.
On the back, past the back door where we lived. Because we went to live on Land Lane for a while.
Do you know what happened to him?
No idea.
Yeah, same here. We lost contact, and the next thing I know, they're digging down the dirt and whatever, and don't know what happened to Pat.
Oh, anybody have for a field trip to the Eagle Park?
It's nice.
So where did you guys go
It
to
is
school?
nice.
Legion Heights.
Well,
I went to elementary school on Echo Park Avenue.
Yeah, Elysian Heights Elementary School, and then you and
I went
David.
to Thomas Starr King Junior High School.
Yes.
And then I went to Marshall High School, although I was in a different school district.
Marshall was in a different school.
I was in the
Yours
Belmont
was,
School District in
oh.
Echo Park. We were just on the, so we went to Marshall. I went to
And
Marshall.
that was because your mother was very smart and proved to them it was harder to get to school. than it was to go a
I really
zillion
wanted to go to
miles
Marshall
longer.
at that time, so I don't know how we worked it out, but I got to go.
Guess what? That side is Marshall now.
That what?
It's been like redistricted. That
Yeah.
side is Marshall.
Oh, it
now.
isn't
Yeah.
that funny? Yeah, I think we were right on the line or whatever, but yeah.
Then we moved
Yeah.
when I was 16 from our house in Echo Park, and then we moved to North Hollywood. So then I switched schools. I went to a school. Actually, I was lucky, really lucky, and went to a Waldorf school in Northridge. So I was there for
She's one of my privileged children.
yes.
My last child.
And you never moved back to Echo Park after North Hollywood?
No, then after North Hollywood, you guys moved to,
that more in the
Well,
valley.
We went to Alhambra.
Alhambra.
We moved to
Yeah,
Alhambra.
and that was where my son said, Alhambra?
I know, we didn't know
I said,
anything
what's the
about
matter?
that.
He said, the armpit of Los Angeles. I was so, and I thought, actually, we bought our place, he says this.
But it was
Other
great.
people would have said that about Echo Park. You know, it's so funny
I
because
had my wedding reception at their house. so
Echo
I
Park
liked
now
it.
is so famous.
Yeah.
You know, and everywhere, you know, it'll come up, that really artsy art district at this, and Echo Park, and I go, I grew up in Echo Park, you know? But it's,
It wasn't so artsy.
yeah, oh, I loved it.
We had a lot of hippies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I associate.
Oh boy. Yeah.
You lived here when they had the big lovin' in Elysian
Oh,
Park.
yeah. And I wasn't allowed to go, but I went. I walked through it, and it was shocking. To this day, I can remember things that I saw that shouldn't be happening in a public place. And there were several of those, because I graduated in 1971 from high school. So I was right in that whole time period. So,
The
you know,
love-in time
the
period.
love-in. I remember my son asking me, Mom, did you ever hear about a love-in? And I was like, let me tell you.
Been there.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, I've been there, done that, but been
Well,
I
there.
have
like,
an old
walk through
poster
that.
me
picture
outta
I gotta
here.
show you. I have an old poster picture from that time I've got to show
Oh,
you. Yeah.
wow, that's probably worth it.
Yeah.
That's neat.
It was kind of like a Woodstock
Oh.
at the early,
Mini
you
Woodstock.
know, yeah.
When they closed those down, that's when they went to Griffith Park.
Yes.
But they started in
Yes.
Elysian Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
I
How long have
remember
you been
picking
in
up
Echo
a
Park?
guy.
Since
Since the late 90s.
the late 90s, okay.
Yeah.
through the door and make an immediate right.
Okay.
Well, Beth, thank you. Anybody else have any?
You didn't learn much about church, but at least.
You know, it wasn't about church, it was about you. You told more about church than I wanted to know.
I left a
wanted to know
lot of
about
good, yummy stuff out. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.